of good experiences. I think my first year we were like a Joe Moore finalist. Kind of got to see some good O-line play like as a young guy. Then kind of worked myself up. When was it 2021? Started on the back tail of the season. Got some good playing time in, some good reps, and then transitioned to Cal. I was there for about 6 months. I got hurt, and I just felt like I'd be better someplace else, someplace that was more football focused and stuff. So I came to Kansas, and really a big part of it was the coaching staff, and I think talking to I'm really close to my strength coach from ASU. He had great things to say about Coach Sleeve, so that was a huge part of that. And then obviously the coaching staff here, I think they're doing great things. I think Coach Fuchs, he's really on some innovative stuff O-line playing, especially in college football. Coach K's offense is definitely the most complex and most elite that I've seen too. So kind of all that is a big decision why I chose to come to Kansas.
When you say football focused, how does that manifest when you look at Kansas?
A part of the team, the biggest thing they talk about is culture. So it's about making decisions every day that's going to set you up for success. And when you get these young men in college, right? They'll make these little decisions every day. And the thing about the culture that they set here is those little things make a big difference. That the little stuff matters. So doing that stuff on a daily basis becomes part of your process. Mm-hmm. And when you build a good culture, we can hold people accountable and call people out. Then you're going to have a great culture, and you'll be able to have like a player-led team. And I thought that was really cool. And I think the culture here, compared to the other 3 universities, is the strongest I've seen.
What's your goal when you walk in the door at a new place, you personally? Like how you introduce yourself. Obviously, football's part of it, but that first part of just, hey, here's who I am. How does that go for you?
Good question. I would say kind of just being cool with the people, just kind of like taking. Because you kind of go to a place, you're just meeting everyone at once. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of just analyzing. You just want to come in and really, you don't want to be that guy that's super, not humble. You want to be humble. You want to just be, I guess, curious is the best mm-hmm. thing I would say, and just trying to figure out stuff. And then just, I guess the biggest part too is just building relationships with people. Not necessarily just what can you do for me, but actually get to know people and build a relationship there. And then off of that, it's like obviously the football part is huge. Right. So it's like we're all, build relationships, but we're all gearing towards the football mm-hmm. stuff, which you kind of see that people are making decisions in the locker room that are geared towards football, and it's cool to see.
How long does it take you to feel like you can truly show yourself, who you are, your personality, whether you're loud, quiet, whatever it is? Does that take a while? Are you there yet? I guess that's the better question.
Yeah, no, it definitely takes a while. I'm starting to, because it's everything at once. Because you get thrown in a spring ball, right? And
there you go.
You get thrown in the spring ball, right? And it's just so much happening at once that I realize there's a process to it. So everything, relationships, the playbook, the strength, everything's going to come in, and it's going to be really fast when you come in, and then it's going to start to slow down. Mm-hmm. And so I say I'm still into it. I'm still part of that process.
Very cool.
Yeah. When you look at the offensive line, just the group, the talent, what do you see?
I think this offensive line is we're deep. I think we got a lot of really good guys that are going to play for us this year. And I'm talking, this is probably one of the deepest O-line room that I've been a part of, as far as guys who are ready to play and that will play for us. I think if you look at the numbers, we have 9 guys that have played in games, 10 guys that have played in games or started in college football. So just that alone is just, there's depth, and there's a bunch of our O-line is going to be good this year. Absolutely.
What makes Jalen different from other quarterbacks you protect?
So I was with Jaden Daniels at ASU for a little bit. Jalen kind of reminds me of that. You got that dual threat with that too, and that's really nice to have. That takes a big pressure off the line. But I think the difference with Jalen is Jalen's able to, you know, command the huddle and stuff. I think his ability to lead is something that kind of really stands out to me.
Do you ever accidentally slip up and call him Jaden?
Actually, what's funny is like people will talk about Jaden Daniels at LSU, and they'll call him Jalen Daniels. I'm like, that's not his name. It's Jaden.
Spencer, how old are you?
23.
Okay, so if you could humor me real quick,
Yeah.
you've got a guy like Calvin Clements who graduated high school earlier.
Yes.
He's here,
Yes.
brand new, young, and then there's a guy like yourself, been through a lot.
Yeah.
Older dude. What's that dynamic like? How do you bond with a kid like that, and what have you done that with him yet?
I think, you know, as time gets on here, there will be more opportunity for me to really link with him. But I think I always like taking young guys under my wing, especially because I look back when I was a freshman in you know, college, and I look back to playing and I wasn't ready.
Right.
You think you are. You think you know, you don't know what you don't know. So I think that part is just realizing, especially at O-line, that it's such a developmental position that it's going to take time. You're going to mess up. It's just about getting better. And so I think, like, once, you know, because Calvin, he's already made big strides, and I think he's going to be a really good player. But I think he's got to just, you know, enjoy the process and really get a good process down. So it's like when you go to football, what are you going to do on a daily basis is going to make you the best that you can be at that time, you know? And I think that'd be, you know, a cool thing to do.
Cool.
You talked about Coach Folks being on the cutting edge of some of the offensive line technique stuff.
Absolutely.
How have you found it adapting? We talked to Logan yesterday, or the other day, and he was talking about having to do steps in the kitchen and things like that
Yeah.
just to get used to it. How have you found that?
Found the, like, innovative part? Or
Yeah,
the,
just like trying to adapt to it if it's different.
I mean, adapting to it is just, I think, reps on reps. Because it's unique and because it's cutting edge, there's going to be little nuances that, because, you know, football's chaotic. So, you know, you're going to have to, the little rules in your head are going to change. So it just takes reps on reps and film on film, and, you know, just meeting with the coaches afterwards and say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? So that takes time as well.
Can you and Logan kind of bounce off each other in that way, because it's new to him too? And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it is different from tackle to guard, but I think me and Logan have done a good job of meeting with each other, trying to be like, hey, like, because I mean, we both come from, I guess, you know, pretty good programs. So it's nice to bounce, like, hey, what do you think about this? Like, it's different. He's like, yeah, and I think it's cool to have that. Absolutely.
You mentioned guards. Is that where you've been getting your most work in so far at guard?
Yeah. So all my starts in college have been at guard. So that's where I feel the most comfortable. If they want to play tackle, then I'm open to it as well. But right now it's guard. Yeah.
Left guard, right guard.
Right now I'm at right guard, but, you know, subject to change. I think Coach Fuchs, he really wants guys bounce around, be able to play multiple positions and stuff. So
on that style, that innovative
yeah.
approach and all that, have you picked up the phone and called old teammates or coaches and said, man, listen to this. This is what we're doing here. This is wild. I mean, are you doing that kind of stuff too, or not really?
No, absolutely. I'm talking to, you know, former players I've been with, and you know, former coaches and stuff, and be like, hey, look what we're doing. And they're like, yeah, that's interesting. And I mean,
it catches them off guard then. Yeah, they're like,
no,
wow,
absolutely.
that's neat.
Because I mean, he's like, hey, like, look at the NFL. We're doing a lot of stuff that the NFL's doing. We compared, you know, setting vertical. You know, we keeping that pocket nice and wide and shallow. And I think, you know, they're impressed. They're like, hey, I think that's awesome.
Cool.
So I mean, it's cool to almost like know that you're on cutting edge stuff, at least in college. You know.